Yo, what's poppin', all my peeps? It is I, your host with the most, Renaissance man, who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back again in the yard streams for another edition of Pitts and Sara's Wrestling Show, Raw Rewind Edition. We also take no nights off here as well. And I said we because I don't do it alone. You got to do it with the best of the West. You can't forget about Sarah Marshall. What's popping, girl?
Hey, yo.
Hello.
Ohio.
Oh, hi.
OH. Ohio. I love
right.
when he did that last night. I thought that was
down.
good.
Calm down.
It was good. I love when we get in the crowd. What's going on? Great. How are we doing on this fine Tuesday?
We're preparing for the storm that is the NFL draft.
I am not gonna lie. I'm so over the talk. I just want the pick to be made.
Yeah, but then there's a lot of talk that comes based off of the pick. So
yeah, like I'm so over Drake May. I don't know why we're not going for Jaden Daniels. What?
Do you not pay attention?
No, I have not been.
Okay, Jaden Daniels is favored to go to Washington, so they won't be able. Yeah, so they won't be able to have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, and okay, I'm just.
It's basically from what is being said. It's between Drake May and JJ McCarthy. So pick your poison. Pick your poison. Also, if you don't watch college football enough to really have much of an opinion, I don't think we should be saying ew to either of them.
No, I just like. All right, I'm more annoyed at the team rather than the players that are being drafted. Let's put it at that.
Okay.
I'm annoyed at the team more than the players that are going to be drafted because who knows what's going to happen there. But you know what, Sarah? We do know what happened last night, or do we? According to Twitter, because apparently the peeps are not too happy with the finish last night. Which
I already see people apologizing to me. So
apologizing.
Yeah, they feel bad for me.
God, you just get like all the love. Like, I'm sorry, like you, queen status out of you.
I see all of your condolences, guys. Thank you.
It's very nice.
Thank you
to see the peeps apologizing to you. I understand why, but guys, it's okay. All right, everything happens for a reason. All right. After rewatching it last night for a second time, thank God I did, because there's little details in there that if you missed it, then you're gonna have to retrace your steps and go back in the reading, because there's some finer points in there that make a lot more sense now that I rewatched it twice. I don't know if you agree.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, so we'll have to talk about it when we get to their story.
Yeah, more looting. I'm giving a taste of what's going on in the show. Sarah, come on, keep peeps informed. Who wants me to see me spin my title? All right, so Sarah, instead of all this royal rambling, let's just let's say hi from the peeps first.
Yeah.
Let's say hi from the peeps. I'm getting ahead of myself here. We had a lot of comments beforehand, which was very nice. Even though we're not live, give your comments because they'll probably get read. Like Rainy Days should have been Chelsea. She had her moment. I thought her moment was hilarious and very well done. Jay is a live guy. Oh
we'll
my God.
We'll talk about
Sarah.
this.
Well, we're gonna save our ammo. All right, we're gonna save our energy on that. I know, dog. It's very sad. I did text Sarah, or no, I let you text me because you can't watch it live. I let you text me and then reacted because I was just waiting for that text to come in. What's poppin', David and Mr. Anderson? We got D squared. Yeah, we know, guys. We know Sarah's not too happy. All right, Patty Pitts. At least someone's acknowledging me by one of my aliases. I'm just trying to go for this. Oh, this is actually hilarious. Because we were literally just talking about this.
They definitely won't trade up, but
good for you, Kervin. Very happy. All right, Kane Marais, we'll get to your question later. Bernard's here.
What's up?
And that's it. Now we can kick off. Wow. That was a lot. Okay, we can get rid of that comment.
Okay.
Where are we going here? All right. There we are. All right. So
Okay,
what's
I'm like,
popping?
take your time.
Okay.
Okay, so we start off the show. I mean, after they hype up the women's match for the main event, we get Jey Uso. Main event, Jey Uso comes out yeeting, and we get a lot of Pat McAfee yeeting all over himself, is what he
Who
wants to
isn't?
say now. So whatever. So he just comes out basically to hype himself up for his match at Backlash for the World Heavyweight title against Damian Priest. That's basically all he's doing. And because he is mentioned, Damian Priest comes out. And then we have this conversation that's one-sided, basically, from Damian, just talking about how proud he is of Jay because he is now the main event, the Yeet Master guy. He talks about how they went out in the past and they got drunk together, and that Jay said, like, hey, we're next, and Damian said, you were half right, whatever. But
Bars.
it did break Damian when he was like, yeah, we went out and like, I don't know what you did. Like
I
my
Ubered
favorite
though.
thing is like I Ubered. Like, yeah, because it's like you got to talk about those DUIs. So anyway, I think it's more Jimmy.
Oh, that went right
Has
over my head.
did
No, they both
Jay?
have.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
why it's
then
Uso Penitentiary.
yeah, okay. So then yeah, so
Hilarious.
that's why Jay says that. But he says that Jay is going to be the first guy that is going to be fed to him since he became champion, and once he beats him, then he is going to join everyone in saying, "All rise to the El Campeón." He tries to leave. Jay is like, "No, no, 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 come back. Get over here. You don't just say your piece and then dip. That's not how we do things. No." And that's when you just get straight into the insults. Jay takes the low hanging fruit, but it's always, I mean, not always, but in this case, it works. He said that he's only in charge of Judgment Day because Rhea Ripley is sidelined. He then asks how mommy is doing and says to tell her, I said, hi.
No. It was more like wah. Like
Yeah, whatever.
it was not like.
Okay, well,
Ah.
whatever, Bubba. And he says that he is also now Dom Dom's bitch. So obviously that pisses off Damian. He gets close to him, but whatever. Um, and he then kind of mocks him for how he became champion, as we know, because he cashed in, but it was after CM Punk decided to beat up Drew after he won. And he says, you know what? I'm not going to be fed to you, actually, because I'm going to become the next World Heavyweight Champion. That's when JD McDonough comes out and sneak attacks him, but accidentally leads to Damian getting super kicked in the face. So
Bozo.
the drama.
Bozo.
And this leads to the beginning of the Judgment Day. They are having some issues with Rhea on the sideline. So after this moment, we see them in the back in the Judgment Day lair.
Cool
And
place.
JD is trying to apologize to Damian, who is not having it. He is very angry. And he was like, this wasn't what the plan was supposed to be. And Damien's like, there was no plan. I never asked for your help. That's when Dom rolls up in a sling. And now I guess he's hurt, which is legitimate. And he was supposed to be in a match that night against with JD against Andrade and Ricochet, but instead he's like, I got Santos Escobar to fill in for him, which Damian is not happy about because he's like, who is this guy? Like, what are you doing?
Well, because the last one turned on them. He's a little skeptic.
Yeah. So he then tells JD and Dom, like, handle your business.
Handle your business.
And stay out of mine. So I'm like, what is going on with the Judgment Day? Because I saw someone say that, I mean, oh, I just saw something and I was like, I didn't know what that was. Anyway, so I saw someone say this and I guess it could apply to them too, that like we now have two like split tag titles and now they're like splitting all the tag teams. So like this feels like another situation where it's like, what are we doing? Like, why are you splitting Judgment Day? I don't know if they're splitting Judgment Day, but it kind of feels like I don't know. Like I don't know if this is kind of laying the groundwork for a split, like they kick Damian out. I don't know, because we also didn't see anything from Finn last night. So we don't know how Finn is feeling, but obviously Dom with that mustache and JD are feeling a certain way about how Damian is doing things and how he's speaking to them and whatnot. So I'm kind of curious where this is going to go.
In my eyes, this is not has nothing to do with breaking Judgment Day up. You already broke up one faction last night. You're not going to start to break up the most dominant faction on
Mm-hmm.
Raw. I don't care if there is a draft going on. What they're doing is simply just trying to get Dom and JD to become more legitimate because they lose all the time. That's all they do is lose.
Well,
You
yeah,
can't be what?
well, they're. I mean, it's they're booked to lose.
No, no, no,
Like,
no. I know
I
the
just mean
story.
like that was
The
like
story.
that was like what their role was because it's not like they suck,
Exactly. No,
but
no, no. That's not at all. I'm saying they're losing constantly. So if you're losing constantly all the time, that's gonna piss off the dude who is now champion. He cashed in, he won. Why aren't the people around him winning?
mhm.
Okay. So he's going to expect more now that he is champion. That's going to not break them up, but make them stronger and make them do things a little more heelish, a little more aggressive. All right. Like more just evil things that the Judgment Day would approve of doing. And with
So
Mommy gone, there needs to be a more accountability by everyone.
so are you saying it's almost like Damien's using reverse psychology?
Exactly.
Okay, that's interesting.
Because realistically, Finn Balor's doing the live tour in Europe and all that, and probably taking some time off after Mania, whatever. Like that's probably why I wasn't there last night. So I'm not reading into him not being there last night into any cracking.
Oh, no, that's
So
not what I meant. I was just
I
saying
know
he
getting that
wasn't
out
there.
there.
Well,
No,
and
I'm just getting that
just
out
as
there.
a news break, in case anyone didn't know, he re-signed a multi-year
Eh,
contract to stay with WWE. So, baby needs to have a world title run. Okay,
that's
I need
supposed
it. I don't
to.
care if he's 47 years old and he's getting the title. I don't care. That man deserves a title run. Does not wrestle at all like his age. So, get it done. Okay, that's all I'm
No one
saying.
does anymore. No one wrestles
Um,
their age anymore.
so we can just go over this really quickly before we get into some comments because once we get into the Imperium stuff, I'm not stopping until I'm ready. Um so we then move on to DIY versus Awesome Truth for the World Tag Team titles. This is the first time that they are defending the titles since winning them at WrestleMania and since they got the new design last week. And this was a really good match. Um I think that I mean, it's you expect it to be because they're all great
Oh, they're all
wrestlers.
professionals. They're all incredible. I was very, very entertained by this match.
But I do think that this was one of those situations where maybe putting two babyface teams against each other is not the best idea because I feel like the audience did not really know who they wanted to root for. And so I feel like they wanted to root for Awesome Truth. And I think part of it is because, yeah, they're entertaining and that nostalgia factor, but like DIY is incredible. So I felt a little bad for them that they didn't get as much support
Ah,
as I feel like they would have if they were going against like a different team. Um, but otherwise, yeah, this was a good match, a good first title defense for Awesome Truth.
I like the fact sometimes that they have baby faces go up against one another like that
I'm not
because the
saying
fans. I liked it. No, because I'm just saying I liked it because uh, even though the crowd doesn't know who to root for, you're just rooting for good wrestling. You know what I mean? Like you're just and in a match like that where let's be real, the Awesome Truth just needed a win. Okay, they just needed to get a win and look relatively strong, and they did. the The thing that stood out to me in the match is the finish because that explains so much to the antics that are going on with Tommaso Ciampa. So for anyone to know,
I don't think he's been really having antics, but
no, his antics last night where he didn't go to shake the hand. I'm getting there.
oh, well,
So
okay.
so Ciampa goes over the barricade, uh, and then Miz inevitably gets the pinfall. Ciampa is pissed
Mhm.
that Miz got the win and is seeing Miz with truth. And the Miz is a champion, he's not. And it's going to circle back to his feud with Miz and how he really hates the Miz. It's long-term storytelling.
I just
And
don't
then
know. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. That would be pushed out because I feel like that's what they were doing. And then there was like nothing for him or Gargano. And that's why they brought back DIY. Like, I don't see them breaking up DIY anytime soon.
I didn't say that they're going to break up
Well,
DIY.
but if they're going to be doing like solo stuff, if he's going to be going against the Miz, that's kind of breaking up DIY.
No, that's why he's pissed. I'm just saying initially, that's what started this, like, breaking. Like it's starting to crack. The wall is starting to crack type of mentality for Ciampa. Because you look, he's pissed that he lost.
Well, it could, yeah. I mean, it might be just that. We don't know.
I'm very interested by that. That's why I watch back. I mean, I'm interested that Miz got the pin. That's what interests me.
Got it. Okay. Do you want to get to comments? Because I see we have a lot. Yeah. Make sure you scroll back too.
I'm going back.
Okay. Finn Balor does not need to wait 3 years. Stop it. Stop it right now. Man is already like 40 something years old. He does not need to wait 3 years. Why?
Give me a year.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's gonna be like champion tomorrow, but I also think that we need to calm down about someone like CM Punk being champion. Let's take a back seat. He does not need to be champion. He doesn't. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm saying he doesn't. You cannot convince me that 40-something-year-old CM Punk needs to be a champion after he's a multi-time champion. He does not need to be champion. So stop. Don't even try it. Don't.
Oh, there we go. Acknowledge Pits. Let's go. Someone's acknowledging the champ of the peeps.
And yes, I'm trying to figure out what to do with the background and whatnot. So I just don't have a very big space. I do everything from my bedroom. So I don't have a lot of space and I'm trying to figure out what to do. So yes, I do need some stuff in my background, but we'll figure it out.
All right, that's the farthest back there. No, he's not going to be the next United States. Close. He's going to be the next something, not United States champion. I'm not getting into that one. Okay. All right. These we're good with comments. All right. So what's next?
Gunther.
That's what he's declaring for. Let's go.
Gunther declares for King of the Ring, which is next month in Saudi Arabia. So Gunther returns to Raw after losing to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, which was heartbreaking. I don't care what anyone says. I was very upset about it. And so he comes out and he addresses his time away, saying that he needed it to digest what happened, but he wants to make sure that he lets you all know that he elevated that Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, okay? And it was to heights that we have never seen before. During his 666-day reign, he became the greatest champion ever, and he will forever be in the history books when it comes to the Intercontinental Championship. Did you notice that he got applause?
I did notice. I was one of them.
I was like, okay, are we finally coming around? Kind of like when we started chanting "Thank you, Roman," on the Raw after Mania. I'm like, are we finally coming around to acknowledging people for their good title runs, even if you're not supposed to cheer for them? Because thank you.
Yeah, you don't appreciate Thanos till after Endgame.
Okay. So he said now that he's no longer the champion, now he is not the hunted, but he is the hunter. So he is declaring for King of the Ring next month. And after he wins, he will decide what championship he's going to go after, whether it is the Intercontinental or otherwise. So this interested me before we get into the rest, because I'm like, does this mean that they are going to be implementing a new like thing with King of the Ring? Like, does it make you, is it going to be kind of like Money in the Bank sort of? Because why else would he be saying like, after I win, then I'm going to be going to decide what?
Because historically, it's whoever wins King of the Ring is the number one contender.
Yeah, but they haven't said that. So
but that's just, they're going like, that's what they want right now, is to introduce it. I am right.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying in the past that when they've been doing the King of the Ring over the past couple of years or whenever it was, that's not what happened. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it has not been mentioned. Back. So who knows? I think that's a way better. They need to go back to that. I feel like, because it makes more sense. Like I've said when we were talking about it last week, it makes more sense for any of them to want to win, because why else would you want to be in the tournament? Like it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, everyone's trying to get in that tournament now.
Yeah, so
There's
we'll have to
3
see.
entrants last
But
week.
so then we see the New Day. Oh my god, I can't with some of these comments here.
Hilarious.
I can't. No, it's not funny. It irritates me. But anyway, the New Day decide to interrupt and make fun of, mock, do whatever they got to do to piss off Gunther, which I was like, get out of here. You guys are so annoying. And so that's when Gunther was like, you know what? You guys want to be clowns? You want to play silly games? Okay, well, here you go, because you were going to take on my guys Imperium, which Woods is like, we've already faced them enough. Blah, blah, blah. We'll beat them again. I want to be like the last time that you guys had a match. They beat you in a street fight. But okay, brother. Like, yeah.
That was so funny.
I
thought that was so witty when he said that. I was like, finally, we're opening, like, even they're acknowledging that all they do is face Imperium.
Yeah, well.
Like, I thought that was a good little tidbit. Yeah, this is where.
So then we
I'm
see Imperium versus New Day, which is a totally fine match. Whatever. We already see what's going to happen. Vinci is pinned. What else were we expecting?
Death, taxes, Vinci takes the fall. Yes.
So Gunther was ringside for the match, and he was pissed. Kaiser wasn't happy either. He goes in, or Gunther goes up to Kaiser immediately and just kind of gives him a look. And that is when Kaiser's just like, all right, whatever. He goes in the ring to try and help Vinci because Vinci's hurt. He has beat up a little bit and he wants to try and help him out of the ring. And that is when he attacks him out of nowhere. His brother, his former tag team champion.
Amigo.
Yeah, it's just everything. You know, it was crazy. So he basically brutalizes him for the next Giovanni da Vinci.
Yeah, he faints.
So he basically brutalizes him, and then as he puts him on the steel steps, and he definitely left a mark like on his chest. I don't know if you saw that. Like afterwards, he had this like big welt on his chest. Geos. And then when the security comes out and the referees come out to escort him to the back, like, all right, we need to stop, like whatever. He then runs right back around the ring and hits a drop kick on his head as Vinci is still on the steps. And that is when he gets a holy shit chant. And then, okay, so before being sad about the breakup and about Vinci, I was really happy for Kaiser for that moment because people were not really that invested in Imperium. Like people were invested in Gunther because he was the Intercontinental Champion and he had been champion for so long and he was so dominant and had so many title defenses, blah, 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 blah. So it's like people were invested in him, even if they weren't a fan. They were like, okay, this guy is good. He's legit, whatever. But when it came to Imperium, people didn't really care. They like booed them, but it wasn't like, oh, I really, really hate them. It's like, I'm supposed to boo them, so I'm going to boo them.
Yeah, they're the bad guys.
Yeah. So the fact that they were actually invested enough in what Kaiser was doing to Vinci to then respond with a holy shit chant, I was happy for him because like that does not happen often, nor does it happen easily. Like you have to really do something that is shocking to elicit that response from a crowd because it doesn't matter where you are, really. Crowds are not easy to get any sort of reaction from because it could have been a great match, could have been a phenomenal promo, but if they're just not into it, they're not into it. So I thought that was really cool. So I was happy for him because obviously I love Imperium as a collective. So as far as, you know, things for Kaiser, I was excited for him because like that's a pretty cool moment. You know what I mean? Because he was standing there and listening to it when it happened.
Oh yeah, he soaked it all in. He's someone that I think is gonna make a great singles competitor. Like I really believe like he's so good in the ring, but on the mic too. Like his full potential isn't tapped yet.
Yes, no, I agree. I mean, they've been teasing it for a while and they were hinting at it a while ago.
Yeah, the vignette.
Yes.
What was it? The
like A+ aesthetics. This is like the European elegance, A+ aesthetics.
I hate it, so it's incredible.
Yeah. So in regards to my baby Giovanni Vinci, I am torn because although we kind of saw this coming, not necessarily right now, but we kind of had talked about how this was eventually going to happen simply because they seem to refuse to put Imperium in tag team title matches or even like have them be a contender. Like they just did not seem interested in doing that. So it's like, okay, does this mean that they're inevitably just going to break up and that's why we're not getting invested in this? I don't know. Um, so my concern is that we've known for a while that they wanted to push Kaiser as a singles guy, but we never heard anything about what they wanted to do with Vinci. And so that just makes me worried because it's kind of like an Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford situation where it's like, okay, so they're going to push Ford and just like Dawkins is going to take a back seat. So I'm like, I'm concerned that they're really not going to do anything with Vinci, despite the fact that he's phenomenal in the ring. I'm not saying he's like a great talker compared to like Kaiser, because I don't think that he necessarily is. But as we've said before, people don't even know that he's a high flyer. Like people don't even know
Sarah,
because
it took you to send me a video of his to realize that myself.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like people don't even know like how actually really good he is in the ring. And so it's like that's a shame. So I'm just hoping that there is a bigger plan in place for him and that it's not just something for Kaiser, because like as happy as I would be for Kaiser and for Gunther, whatever they're planning on doing, obviously I don't want Vinci to just be like put on the back burner and eventually get released, because I feel like that would suck.
Yeah,
Um but
that's a
then on the
worry.
other hand, I think that this could be a good feud. I saw someone say on Twitter that there is a potential that Ilya Dragunov gets drafted to
Oh,
Raw. Hold on.
yeah,
That he gets drafted to Raw. I assume he is losing the title to Trick Williams simply because it's like he wins or Trick Williams leaves NXT. Trick
yeah,
Williams is not leaving NXT yet. Like
yeah. It's
Ilya is
the
the one
telltale
that's
sign.
yeah.
The telltale sign.
So in that case, because of his storied history with Gunther, I would love to see Ilya come to Gio's defense. And then we can maybe
Oh yeah,
see Gunther and Kaiser versus Ilya and Gio, or intermingling singles matches between them, and then go on from there. And I would love to see him go back to his NXT gimmick, which is something that Wade Barrett teased on Twitter last night, where he posted that infamous moment from NXT
the
when
pose.
Vinci took the picture from the ring, but Wade was standing there and Vic Joseph was standing there too. So if we can get back to the pointing and posing for the pictures in the Vinci, then I am on board. I will be more excited about it.
I I think I I believe that Gio would be a great addition to SmackDown. Like he's
I
someone
just
that you could put him on SmackDown, get him in a couple feuds, and he could be a potential U.S. champion. Like get him there, and that gimmick is so good with
I
the
just
pointing. That's a perfect SmackDown role.
I agree. I just think it's too early. I don't think that you can just have Kaiser beat his ass and then next week you move him to SmackDown so he doesn't get to solve those issues with Kaiser. Like I don't know if I like that idea. But I also don't like the idea of Gunther being on SmackDown. So I
I don't
wouldn't
think
want
Gunther will be on SmackDown.
no, but what you're not listening. I'm
Okay.
saying I don't want Vinci to be moved to SmackDown before getting revenge on Kaiser. So if he gets moved to SmackDown, then that would mean that Gunther and Kaiser would also need to be moved to SmackDown so that he can still seek his revenge. I don't see either of them being SmackDown guys. Vinci could be a great SmackDown addition, but I want him to stay on Raw as long as he can, so that he can like maximize what he can get out of a feud with his former teammates. And then we can see
Fair.
him maybe transition, like maybe they trade him or something. You know what I mean? Like it's not impossible.
I just don't believe that this needs a payoff. We saw the payoff.
I I
Kaiser goes backstage, whispers to going through that business was handled, which is basically what Gunther was whispering to him in the ring. I don't believe there should be
But
a payoff in this.
you have to think about who is the one who needs the payoff. Vinci. You can't just move on now. Vinci has there's nothing for people to cheer for Vinci. So basically, you're saying you want Vinci to become as someone said, he's going to become the next Cameron Grimes. Why would we want that?
No.
So,
You
but
won't be
that's what I'm
Cameron
saying.
Grimes.
You have to keep this storyline going. That's why there was a holy shit chant. That is easily getting people behind Vinci. You can't then separate him from that already. You can't do that because then it's just going to fizzle out. Why would anyone care about him?
I think they just care about.
No.
I'm just saying they just care about Kaiser. I don't think they. Okay. Well,
maybe Vinci
I'm
goes
entitled
back
to
to
my opinion.
NXT.
But then okay. You know what?
Well,
fair.
If they're trying to, from what I've read, they're trying to get NXT to be a legitimate third brand and not just developmental, which I still think that they're going to do. It's going to be developmental and whatever. I don't love Vinci going back down to NXT, but I still want him to be on Raw because I want to see him actively in a storyline that involves Gunther. And if they're trying to build up Kaiser, then why not let them do it together and build them up together, especially with the connection with Ilya. To me, that makes the most sense and gives Vinci the best possibility of actually getting over and people caring about him. Because I think if they try to move on too quickly, then no one's going to care.
But people are going to care about him, and now that'll have a different path, and it's under the Triple H era.
That's not how things work.
And with his, I know talent when I see it. It's called the eye. It's called the eye test.
That's fine, but no one cares about Imperium. I was just saying that.
Exactly.
They care. So that's why you can't. You people might care about Kaiser now because he turned on Vinci. But why would anyone care about Vinci besides me? No one's gonna get behind Vinci if they split him up right now.
Vinci is, but they don't really care anyway. They just
But so you're proving my point.
I'm not really.
There's no reason for them to move him away from an active storyline where his longtime teammate just turned on him that got one of the biggest pops of the night. You'd be basically, in my opinion, punishing him by removing him from Raw, throwing him to SmackDown, and hoping that he gets over. That does.
Yeah, but Raw's too crowded.
Both rosters are gonna be crowded.
No, he's a better. I'm just saying, in the future, he is a better SmackDown guy.
I'm not disagreeing, but I'm saying you can't do that right now. You can't.
Okay.
He has no identity outside of Imperium, so you can't then just throw him to SmackDown and be like, all right, figure it out, try to get people to care. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. All right. Yeah, I do understand what you're saying.
You don't agree.
I'm trying. I don't agree.
That's fine.
I'm trying to think.
That's because my heart is with Vinci. So
clearly, you got a heart full of gold.
Yeah, it's because I love my guy, even though he's got a girlfriend. And we
all love people who are
he debuted her. Also, Kerbin, I'm gonna be emotional. I don't care. Okay,
call me an
emotional girl. Don't care. Okay. Gunther can't be a babyface.
Gunther in no shot ever could be a babyface. That man walks into a room, and the room is already disrespecting it by not standing up for him.
Because to me, that's trying to get Drago from Rocky being a good guy. Come on now.
Yeah, you can't. He's a good guy to the Soviets, but subjective. I don't know what you mean.
He'll be a babyface in at Bash in Berlin, but that's just because
of the crowd. Oh my god, could you imagine that pop when that happens?
I'm so excited. I wish I could be in a crowd like that. I would love to be able to go to an international show one day. That'd be so great. I gotta get my
passport. I'll probably do that tomorrow.
Gunther or Finn wins King of the Ring. Don't even tease Finn, please. Oh my god, I would love that also because then it would work with Damian. You know what else I would love is like a fatal 4-way or something at Clash at the Castle for the World Heavyweight title. Damian versus Finn versus Drew versus CM Punk. Drew goes over.
You're just playing my universe. You're just playing universe mode.
You know what? Stop being a hater.
I'm just dragging you back down. Who's talking about?
Let's see.
Are you looking at comments here?
Yeah, it's a risk to break up a tag team, but maybe the draft sees some more teams. Yeah, they've been because then they also broke up Alpha Academy. They're
I
teasing a
mean,
potential breakup of DIY. It's like, what are we doing?
DIY is gonna stay. Alpha Academy needs to go.
Yeah. I am very excited for Ludwig to get more time. I just also want to see them do something with NXT. Mr. Anderson says that he could go back to he hopes he doesn't go back to his NXT gimmick. I feel like there's a way it could work. Because he's just so good. And he's hot. He's a hot Italian. Come on. Let him exploit that. Okay. I don't care. You know?
I can't speak on that.
He's a hot
I'm
Italian.
not. I'm
Also,
not
did you
really
notice?
familiar with hot
I
Italian.
wanted to be Kaiser last night when he was like rubbing like Vinci's head
All
and like
right.
kissing him. I was like,
all right.
I'm just saying. Let's see.
Oh, it's hilarious when
You guys are being way too negative about Vinci, and I don't appreciate it.
that's our guy. That's our guy. Like
he's
we
saying
ride
Sara
with
is
him.
right. If he goes to SmackDown, no one will care, and he will get let go. Thank you, Jay.
Wow, more people agreeing with you.
I know because I'm right.
That's so awesome.
I don't know if he'll be ready by June. I was just saying it's mid-June. It's 2 months, less than 2 months away. The only reason I even thought about that was because he took off his arm brace when he did that at Mania against Drew. So I was like, maybe he could come back, or he's closer to coming back than we thought. The only reason I thought that would be good is because then it's like, okay, well, Drew has beef with Damian because of what he did, but he also has beef with Punk, but then Punk also like doesn't like Drew, and then he could have beef with Damian simply because he wants a title. And then if you threw Finn in there, okay, well, if Finn won King of the Ring, he's got, he wants to get the title. Then we're gonna see potentially drama happening within the Judgment Day, which allows Finn to want the title from Damian. So that's why.
That's exactly it.
And yes, I love Gio. Too bad that he, like I said, has a girlfriend. So it's like it's a little less fun to like crush over a person when they're actively in a relationship.
I made a life out of doing
when they're
it,
single. It
I
keeps
think
the fantasy alive. But then it's like you don't want to be a homewrecker. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when you're playing soccer, there's a goalie in the net. So moving on to
moving on to my other bay. Sheamus and DM Hunk trade some insults in the ring, but they're friends. Okay, they're friends. So that's why I liked my headline.
They're friends.
But they're friends. They're friends. So first we see DM Hunk come out to the ring looking good, and because he immediately gets CM Punk chance. This is exactly why I told you they were having him do all this stuff with CM Punk, because it keeps Punk relevant. I need you to give me more credit because, boy, I am on a streak. Okay, about being right. You just don't like to admit it. That's all. That's fine. So, in response to those CM Punk chants, Drew was like, all right, I'm going to sit cross-legged in the middle of the ring again and make sure you do not shoot up my kilt again, you perv. And I was like, thank you for keeping that going, Drew. Thank you, because I appreciate it. He asks the crowd, why do you guys keep chanting for CM Punk when I'm out here? Like, why do you do that? Like, how do you not know by now that he has given you all the evidence in the world that he doesn't like you? He actually hates you, and the only person he hates more than you is himself. He then goes on to talk about how professional wrestling does not love him as much as he loves it, and that has been a problem in his life as of late. He complains about how he lost the number one contendership, which that is a fair point that I don't think people are looking over.
He said it. No, he said
did not
it, and
get
I
a rematch.
went.
He didn't get a rematch.
That hit me like a wave of bricks, because he said that, and I'm like, huh.
He's right.
And then I'm like, huh. We were at Raw. Like we were at Raw. We know what the main event was. Like, it's CM Punk. He did cost him the match.
Yeah, but he didn't get the automatic rematch.
To be fair, it's kind of in every WWE championship contract that the champion, if he was to lose, gets an automatic rematch whenever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be Drew just complaining and not being like, he didn't clock it in time? I don't know. There's a lot of kayfabe hilarious stuff that you can
Yeah.
wonder about. But
I think
yes, it's such a good point, though, Sarah.
I think that this might be just like an added element to his frustration. So it's like in that case, then I'm like here for it, because then it's
Yeah.
like, then he can say like everyone's against him even more, or like they don't want to see him win, blah, 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 blah. But I was sat there and I totally did not even think about it because they had just transitioned so quickly from him winning the title to then Raw having a number one contenders match. So it was like you forgot,
No, they swept that under the rug.
Yeah. And so anyway, so he talks about that, but then he said he's not complaining, but that he is declaring, I'm sorry, for the King of the Ring. So we now know that two of them will be in King of the Ring. And that is when Sheamus comes out here to talk about how
I
he has
love
no more
this.
lies or limes, whatever you want to say.
It's too many limes.
Oh my God.
Too many limes.
I'm sorry. I cannot.
Too many limes.
I cannot with the chat right now. You guys are incredible, but not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You give me the signal.
Okay.
You give me the signal.
So Sheamus comes back and he's back to his trunks, which I noticed immediately. And he just comes out to talk about how like, oh my God, Drew, like here you are. All you do is complain. He says how he's a coward. Blah 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 blah. They just go back and forth about how like, oh, we've been friends and like whatever, we've been through a lot together. I didn't complain when this happened to me, whatever. It's the same old stuff that like everyone has been saying to Drew for the past however many months, like it was good because we do know they have a history together. But that is when Sheamus is like, hey, we've had banger after banger after banger, which they have, because I would say arguably one of the matches of the year, which did not get the respect it deserved from WrestleMania 2023. That was ridiculous. That was one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever seen WWE fans vote upon. Not even having that as like a top 3 match. Are you kidding me? I don't even think it was like a top 5 or top 10.
It was not a top 5. I know that.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous.
Top 10.
I was like, guys, my mic just came off. Oh, geez, hold on.
You're coming undone with it.
Yeah. So
you keep going.
Okay, so he says we've had banger after banger after banger. And that is when Drew is like, well, since you came back, it's been more like burger after burger after burger. And I was like, oh my God.
Burger after burger after.
That was
after burger. It was, oh my God. When he said that, I was like, damn. Like, I think he broke Sheamus. Because that was so clever. That was one of his more clever burgers after burgers.
This is seriously like, I'm not saying that this never happened under Vince. Sorry, I'm trying to do like 2 things at once.
You're trying to like just fix over.
So this is why I want like a different, like I want a mic stand so that it's just not attached to like, so it's not attached to my.
Cut a promo.
No, I don't. I want so I don't have to attach it to my desk. Anyway, so hold on a second.
Yeah, you figure that out while I just talk about burgers, because boy howdy, since I work in fish, I don't really hang around a lot of meat. So when I get the chance to have a burger, I absolutely take advantage of it. I had Burger King on Saturday. What else do I have? Or was it Sunday? I don't know. I've had some weird days during the week where I forget what day it is because you're working so much. Burger a couple days ago, restaurant up the street. I know many of you don't live in Massachusetts, so unless you do, hit me up with a name. Burger King is gross. Have you ever had Whataburger? No, I've had In-N-Out. I've had Wahlburgers because obviously Boston. Wendy's is the GOAT. I Uber Eats Wendy's cookies, a Frosty, and something else over the weekend, and it was probably one of my favorite things. Okay. Shake Shack's the shit. All right, and moving on.
Okay, so what I was gonna say is, not that this didn't happen under Vince or anything, like I'm not trying to say that, but I really do think that something that they have done since Triple H has taken over is allowing them to use things that are being said online and using that like on live TV. So Drew has been one that has used that a lot because he tried to twist it and say like, you know, because Sheamus is like, what? Like, why are you saying that? Like, I don't care what these people think. And then he was like, no, like the people in the back, like you know, like
Your
your
colleague.
coworkers are the ones calling you chunky. And it's like, no, it was the fans online that were doing it, you know? But I like that they're doing that because I feel like it does blur the lines between being fiction and reality. You know what I mean? So it's like, I like that they're involving this a little bit more because it makes storylines a lot more interesting. Um, as far as this being like a reignited feud, I'm not like super into it just because it's like I think we've seen Drew versus Sheamus enough. Like, is it going to be a great match? Yeah, of course it will be if that's what ends up happening. But do I need to see it again? Not necessarily. I really want to see Sheamus more get involved in the Intercontinental picture. Like, I'd like to see that because they even mentioned it again on Raw this week that he's been every champion except the IC title. So it's like, okay, get him involved in that. Like, if you're going to keep mentioning it, and then you want to see Drew involved in the World Heavyweight title picture. So I feel like this is just a distraction or like a detour for both of them. So I
Yeah.
just kind of hope that maybe this was just like one of those things where it's like Drew is out here, Sheamus is like, all right, I'm friends with him, but I have a match next, so I'm just gonna go out there and like do my thing. But
Yeah, no,
you
it's
know,
just their paths crossed for that show
yeah.
because that's just how it goes. But this is not going to lead to them feuding by any means. They might have a match with one another in the
Mm,
near future, but that's more because I mean we saw it before. They killed each other in a street fight. They'll brawl through whatever city they travel to, and they're still gonna be the
friends.
same. Yeah, they're gonna be so they're still gonna be friends at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. So like none of us really care about that, but we did get a good segment, and it kind of gave us a little bit more insight to Drew McIntyre right now
Mm-hmm.
and stalling for CM Punk to come back. So like, and yeah, so there's just a lot of different things. So
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, this was good. So are there any comments?
a lot of burger comments. Oh, Pitts, you the champion of the United States. No cap, damn right. Don't you freaking forget it. McDonald's. A lot of these are just burger comments, so we don't have to really get to them.
Well, that was because you were talking about places to get good burgers.
Someone, yeah, I know where good food is
But like
in
burgers,
Massachusetts.
I would not say fast food burgers are very good. Culver's has good burgers.
Well, yeah, I'm not burgers particularly, but good food in Boston. Hit me up. I know one of the
Oh.
best restaurants.
If anyone
Different
would like to
menus.
donate to the Sarah Get Sarah Back to Boston Fund, please let me know
Yeah,
because
bro. I
I'm taking donations. By the way,
bro, we gotta get you to Boston.
yeah.
All my restaurants are out here. They're awesome. They're the best. All right, moving on.
Okay. So I also want to mention this because we talked about how Drew McIntyre is not under contract for Clash of the Castle, but they are using him to promote the show. So we see that he's still on the poster promoting it. But then he also had a little video that they had him put out. I think it was on the WWE Twitter where he was promoting the ticket sales where you can get combo tickets to the SmackDown and then to Clash at the Castle. So I found it very interesting because to me this feels like it implies that he will be there. I don't feel like they would be putting him at like as the face of this show if they didn't know that he was going to for sure be there. I feel like that would be kind of messed up given the fact that it's in Scotland. If it was somewhere else, like if it was just in Cleveland, Ohio or something,
Yeah,
would
it's
it be
different.
disappointing to big Drew fans that maybe he wasn't there? Yeah, but like we're talking about his home country. So,
Yeah, no, just this is just them kind of going off the fact that the internet knows more than they did 10 years ago. So we are trying to connect these dots. They're gonna get a deal done before this. Now it's just all about how can they um how can they get the most out of it and really blur the lines between contract really expiring and him actually re-signing or on screen oh, my contract's up. I shouldn't even have to be here, but I'm still here because I want to be champion and it's all I ever wanted. And it's just like they could go so many different avenues with this, especially because he's feuding with the guy who friggin' did it to start
Mhm.
with and under a Vince era. So imagine now where all the chains are off. It just it's going to be so well done, and this was just a little bit sprinkles or tidbits of how it can get
I
more.
would love for them to re-sign him, but they don't like let all of the details know. Like I would love for people to not know the extent of his new contract because I would love to see the Summer of Punk moment from Drew. I would love for him to win the title at Clash in the Castle and he dips afterwards and you think he legitimately is like he'll say like oh my contract runs out the Monday after Clash at the Castle or
Oh,
something like that, and that is why he dips. And it's like, okay, well, he's just gonna chill in Scotland. Like that would be pretty cool too, because like after that, we saw Punk with the championship in his refrigerator. Like we
oh
could
yeah.
see videos of Drew like in Scotland, like in the mountains. Out there with like sheep and lambs, like with the title, like I feel like it would still be pretty cool to do that,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
it
1000%.
fits so well with not just like his current story and his determination to regain the championship that he won at Mania. It would work well in a lead up to feuding fully with Punk when Punk gets back. Like it's continuing all of these things that he's doing to mock Punk, and I feel like that would be like the cherry on top. Like come on dude, that would be so
Oh,
good.
I 1000% agree with what you're saying. The only thing I'm going to add
Mm-hmm.
is imagine if he goes to other promotions in Scotland with the title, because
Yeah.
technically he's not like he's a
Well,
free agent.
yeah, and like indie
Wink, wink.
companies are like not direct competition.
They're
It would be
not,
it would be fine.
and it's also cross promotion for
Mhm.
WWE to get WWE into the country
Yeah.
so that you get a different audience and fan base. And I'm not saying have Drew compete in a match with their top guy. No, you don't need to do any of that.
Yeah.
You have him make one appearance. He maybe hits a Claymore kick or two. Like, there we go. Let
Recreate the Summer Punk. What? Were we saying this at the exact same time? I think we were literally
Richard, are
saying this.
you listening and typing
I
or
know. I'm
what?
like, are you transcribing what I'm saying or
Or
are
do
we
you
just
just know ball that well? Like
that
you just
that was incredible. Wow.
have we
Okay.
Stockholm syndrome to the point where you were just
I am the voice
regurgitating?
of the people.
That's me. What are you talking about?
That's me.
That's
Um
what do I carry this for? You carry this heavy
I don't know,
title.
to not be able to talk about tag team
You
title
you
designs,
I
apparently.
know that's not my faux pas apparently.
So Chad Gable needs to address his
Yeah,
actions
bro.
from against Sami Zayn when he beat up Sami while he was embracing his wife. So he comes out with Alpha Academy. We don't get the thank you. We don't get any sort of like lovey dovey, like we are a great team. We love each other, blah, 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 blah.
Nah, dead serious, Tom.
Yeah,
Dead
the
serious.
the other three look very uncomfortable. They look like they do not want to be there. And Chad just goes out there and it's just a whiny little crybaby. So far, I am not. I love that he's a heel, but I
It's
am
a
not.
whiny little
Yeah,
crybaby.
I am not into the way he's going about this right now. I am not into it at all. Um,
It's so spot on though.
yeah,
You're
it's.
so right.
I'm just not into it. So basically all he says is that he wasted his time preparing Sammy for his match with Gunther, which then kind of like took him out against when in his title match against Sammy. And he said that he's just been surrounding himself with losers. He then goes through each member of Alpha Academy and insults them, including
Pretty hard.
pretty aggressively. Yeah. And he even went after his main guy Otis. So clearly that's done with. And he says that the reason why he attacked Sammy wasn't just because like, oh, I lost and I was bitter. No, it was that I was all sulking like a little biatch in the corner after I lost. And then Sammy just had the audacity to come over and try to help me up and put that title in front of me, like, what an asshole. And then he still tries to help me up. And then we do it. But then that wasn't enough. He had to go and rub my face in it even more. Can you believe that he went outside of the ring and went to celebrate with his stupid wife? Like, that could have been me with my daughter. Remember the daughter that cried front row when I lost to Gunther? Yeah, that one.
I
Because
do.
this
I
means
remember.
more to me, damn it. This means more to me. Um, and yeah, then he asks Alpha Academy, he tells them that they are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they focus on him and his path to getting the Intercontinental Championship, and demands that they say they will do whatever it takes, which Otis does
That was
very
tough.
reluctantly. Um, so yeah, so we're just seeing the makings of a heel
I'm
Chad
sorry.
Gable.
That was so funny. I was watching it and I'm laughing at you saying it because that was legitimately my reaction when he was talking. Because
Mm.
it was so little kid
Mm-hmm.
trying to get his way, like spoiled little brat who he doesn't know what losing feels like and
Yeah.
is so accustomed to getting what he wants. And then to see like everything he said, it's not like Sammy went up to him and like picked him up, low blow, then made out
Yeah.
with Chad Gable's wife.
Yeah.
No, it was not like that. It was Sammy having a wholesome moment with his family in his hometown where I mean, you saw the intro. That was where
Yeah.
he watched his first wrestling show. So
Mm.
it was so ridiculous to make that your villain arc. And that's why it's hilarious for the sheer fact that we hate Chad Gable because he's basically a whiny little brat.
Yes. Well, and I
It's
think,
awesome.
it's doing its job because I just think he's annoying. But it's like
Oh
for
my
me, because I
god.
typically obviously I gravitate towards heels, I'm not interested in like cheering him on. So I guess maybe they're actually doing their job
Yeah, they're
this time.
listening to you.
But I do think that this is the way that they had to go about it with Chad, because I think that if they just tried to turn him into a heel, it wasn't going to work because it's
It
not
wasn't.
as believable with a guy who's been like pushed down your throat, like we've said, nauseatingly nice and like ha 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 ha, like fun, happy
Thank
go lucky
you.
guy. Like you
Yeah.
can't just like flip a switch and make him into like the most hated guy on the roster. Like that's not going to happen. So I feel like it does fit his character a lot more to be the whiny little baby complaining about how he didn't win because he's better than everybody else. How dare you do this and that? Like he's a party pooper. Like that is like his gimmick, but I think it works, and I think that might continue. It'll continue to work, and I think we're gonna see how this develops between him and Sammy, who wasn't there last night. But then there's also the added element of how this is going to work out with Alpha Academy. Like, what is that? How is that going to go? And how are they going to eventually say we can't do this anymore? You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
I'm interested in that, but I'm not interested in like an Otis versus Chad Gable feud. You know what I mean? Like that is where I draw the
No.
line. That
I
is,
mean,
I can try to be like supportive of a heel Chad Gable at some point, but I'm not going to be like, let's go Otis. I'm not doing that. I can't do it. Like
oh my
Alpha
god.
Academy had their place, but I am not interested in that kind of feud. So
That's so funny. I can't. I see I mean, obviously the Creed brothers are being expected in the comment section we see here, to be
maybe,
aligning with Gable.
ooh.
And that I see being a team angle type situation
Yes, which would
wholeheartedly.
make sense whenever Alpha Academy decide they don't want to do
Yeah,
Chad
because
Gable's bidding.
Otis needs to go and do his own little singles run. Honestly, in NXT, he'd thrive down there. Tozawa, you got to keep around because I want to see that aggressive side
And you
of
still need
Tozawa.
also like supporters for Maxine, you know.
She got Ivy Nile.
Yeah, but it would be still cool to see like them carry on like supporting her. I mean, they had a whole love thing with Otis, so it's like that's not just gonna
Have
end,
him
but
make
maybe it
roast
does. I
him.
don't know. Anyway, okay, so then this was like a smaller moment, but definitely something that I think most of us took notice to, which was what was that moment backstage between Dom Dom and Liv Morgan? Are we going to see a potential love situation between them? I almost am like so interested in that happening simply because like Rhea's gone.
Would you say love angle?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, that's what people were talking about online. They were like, "I wonder if we're gonna
what?
get this because Rhea's gone. Is Liv going?" This is the thing. I think it would be a manipulating
No,
tactic
keep
by
going, keep
Liv.
going, keep
Yeah,
going,
I
keep
think that
going.
Liv would want to try to cozy up to Dom Dom while Rhea's gone because that's her way of seeking revenge on Rhea by going straight to her number one guy, her Dom Dom, her Latino heat, and it's probably going to work because Rhea's not there. Liv is a cute girl. Liv would fit into the
Liv is a
Judgment Day.
beautiful girl.
Yes. Liv would fit in the Judgment Day if they needed like another woman. You know what I mean? Like her current vibe would fit in that. So this wasn't an accident to me. Like I don't know if it will eventually lead to that, but I feel like this would be such a way to continue Liv versus Rhea, make Liv more hated, not even just because of her, betraying Rhea by getting with her boyfriends or whatever
Yeah,
whatever
whatever
he
you want to
is.
call the on-screen thing, but we
Yeah.
get the point. Yes.
But also teaming her up with like arguably one of the biggest heels on in WWE simply because of the reaction he gets. He can't even talk on the mic. Like that is going to then move over to Liv as well. So if you're trying to make Liv into this big heel, why not explore this possibility? Like even if it is just a fling, you know what I mean? Like I'm into it.
Dom is so naive too. Like that's the thing right now, and
Yes.
it ties back to inevitably the handle your own business and Damian Priest saying you need me more than I need you. So there's
Mm-hmm.
the other connect where he's right. Maybe Dom needed Rhea, needed Damian, but he said I don't need you. And then he goes to Liv, and Liv's not saying that I need you or anything, but you need me so that you can be on your own. Like there's a lot of different things you can do there now that
I
you brought it to me. You brought
mm-hmm.
it to my attention. I am way okay. Mind. That's what happens when you step outside the box because I thought that was so dumb at first, but then you just like
I love it.
explained it, and I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. That's genius because it's taking if the promo or not promo, excuse me, when Liv's walking up the ramp and Rhea's walking down, I will take everything. It's like it's if you want to really build this feud,
Yep.
it's everything. Judgment
Mm-hmm.
Day, her dom, her title. The
Yep.
title's the last thing.
Mm-hmm.
The title's just the now. Oh, go because
I think, yeah, there's so many people that can benefit from something like this. Obviously, Liv and Dominic being the main, but like they're already kind of showing us that they want to keep putting cracks in the Judgment Day, whatever that means. Maybe nothing happens of it, but like Dom betraying Rhea by going with Liv, like that's going to cause some tension, and it could even cause tension with JD, who is like his right hand guy. So it's like I think there's a lot of possibilities, like you said, that could come from this, and I feel like this is such a good storyline that could just make Liv into a star. Like I really think that this is the way to make her into like the top heel girl on Raw, because why would you do that to mommy? Like we already saw the makings of Rhea returning as a babyface. This is an easy way to do that, even if it is that
easy.
she's upset because Dominic, who everybody hates, you know cheated on her or whatever with Liv.
Everybody
Like
hates.
people won't care because they love Rhea, so how dare you hurt mommy's feelings? You know what I mean? Like I think that would be sick. um Thank you, Rick the Ruler. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, and Richard said Dom gets seduced by Liv to control Judgment Day and kicks out Priest. Interesting. Yeah, I think that there's definitely some possibilities here. The reason why I'm even saying anything could come out of this is because we know with Triple H, nothing is done accidentally. So we saw this shot that led to nothing. There was no touching, there was no speaking, there was nothing that came about this. It was just Dom and Liv staring at each other. That wasn't an accident. That was
No, it's
meant
tension.
to be something.
Tension.
So we'll have to see what it is, but I just think my theory would be great. I think that Liv would really benefit from that. Then we move on to Ricochet and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and JD McDonough.
I love Santos Escobar now. I'm obsessed.
I'm obsessed with JD McDonough and Andrade. That's what I'm obsessed with.
Bobblehead ass.
I don't, you know what? Fuck you. Anyway. Anyway, so this was a fire match. Obviously, I mean, the match is whatever. I do think that people need to get behind Andrade more because, come on, guys, he's doing everything that he possibly can to get you guys to care about him, and the fact that you don't care enough about him to actually cheer for him, it's disappointing because he's so damn good. So we see Ricochet and Andrade win, obviously, which then prompts Damian to come out and just like wreak havoc over both of them. But it's not just that, because you already alluded to it. Damian is pissed. Damian is pissed that he needs to do work for himself and he needs to handle business for other people in Judgment Day. And that is when he goes over to Dom and is like, you know what? Because he was speaking Spanish to Dom, which JD was then like, what did he say? What did he say?
Sarah, I understood it. I understood what he said. That's because, it's great. I just thought it was funny bilingual.
That JD was like, huh? And that is when Damian's like, I was telling him that you guys need me. I don't need you. Basically, do not forget that. So that is why, even more, I feel like there's something that is going to come about from the Judgment Day. Like something is going on, and I'm here for it because I kind of like this direction more, where there just seems like to be a lot of chaos in the group, and it isn't necessarily like how it was at first, where it was like everyone hates JD, so like everyone was ganging up on him. It just feels like there's tension from everybody, and so I think it's a lot more interesting. And it doesn't feel like something that can't be solved. So it's like, it's not necessarily, I keep using that word, something that is leading to an eventual breakup. This could be something where they talk it out and figure something out, or maybe they kick somebody out, or they don't, or they bring someone in. Like, we don't know. And I feel like that's a lot more interesting than just like, oh yeah, okay, they imploded. You know, like, yeah. Okay, then do you want to get to comments before we get to the main event, or?
Yeah, I'll just get to this one quick. It's not Thursday, buddy. So,
and also, all I would want to say, Chrome Knuckle, is that they're a joke. That's what I would say.
Yeah, you don't want to get,
Don't get me started because I'm sorry.
Don't.
Like, they probably had some phenomenal.
I thought it was great.
Also, how many matches did I get correctly? How many matches did I get correct?
Wait, I don't know. Okay, if you're trying to put me on the spot, I really don't know off the top of my head.
You asked me my guesses. You asked me to pick the match winners.
Yeah, do you I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think that I got like almost all of them right.
Oh,
okay. I thought you were keeping track, hence why you had us do the match picks.
I was going to on Thursday, we were going to go back over it because that's when we talk all wrestling.
Yes, you gotta
wait till Thursday.
Well, I was just gonna say they were an absolute joke because it doesn't matter how great the pay-per-view was, right? You then go and have multiple of them talking shit about WWE for no reason, okay? Including Will Ospreay, who I like Will Ospreay. I'm not mad. I'm not mad, but I'm just saying.
This is what you did. No, because I thought you were attacking me. Because I was like,
I was saying how many of the matches did I get right? Like, I was impressed with myself that like I guessed without having any real knowledge.
No, you did. That's what I was saying. It was
Hold
good.
on, let me finish a sentence. What I was saying is, from what I heard, the show was good outside of the Hook and Jericho match, which I think a blind person would have predicted that was going to be absolute crap. What I'm saying is, what made the most headlines outside of the chants at Jericho and Swerve Strickland finally winning was Will Ospreay not wanting to talk about the comments that he made on live television on their flagship show about Triple H that didn't need to be said. the Tony Storm comments that she made that were a hit at Cody Rhodes, which the irony in the entire thing is you're working for a company he helped created, babe. So maybe you should take a seat. And the other people who are also taking shots at WWE, like, focus on your own show. Focus on the fact that you guys just put together a successful, great show that people were saying, oh my God, the Ospreay Danielson match is the greatest wrestling match I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, you just had a phenomenal show that everyone was raving about. You then tainted it by continuously taking shots at the other company when they're not doing that. I don't care what you have to say because you're going to follow it up and tell me how wrong I am. But, like, come on. You taint it. You taint it.
I just wanted to say it was a great show.
He did not trash talk Ospreay. If you want to listen to the internet to convince you that that's what he was talking about, that's fine. But I don't listen to what the internet tells me and believe the internet 24/7. I'm sorry, but, like, I also don't and I've said this before and I'll say it one more time before I get into the main event. The main thing that Triple H said in his comments was people early in their career. Are you telling me that Ospreay's new to his career? He's young in his career. He's green. Is that what you're telling me? You're telling me that that when he says something about they don't want to do the grind, are you telling me that that means you're saying Ospreay has never been a grinder in wrestling? Basically, you're saying that that's what Triple H was saying about Ospreay. If neither of those things apply to Ospreay, then why would his comments be made about Ospreay? Makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. The internet assuming that that is about him, then that is ridiculous. I have a brain and it's on right. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I'm not intelligent or I'm not smart. I'm sorry. I'm not going to have this argument. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
I'm not going to have my intelligence questioned because I don't believe what the internet is saying. We also had people believing that Charlotte Flair was going to return in the Battle Royal last night and that Alexa Bliss was going to return and one of the two of them were going to win the World Heavyweight title. Should I believe them because that's what the internet told me to? No. But no, I have a brain, I think, for myself. So, anyway, let's get into the main event, which was the women's battle royal to crown a new women's world champion that was left vacant by Miss Rhea Ripley. So we first started off with a really cool moment with Becky. We first see Nia and Liv going at it backstage. What? Is something happening and that's why you're like smiling or something, or what's going on?
I'm listening.
Okay. Anyway, okay, so we see them fighting backstage and then we get the camera moment that everybody is loving where they follow Becky throughout the whole thing. She first takes the mic away from Jackie Redmond and then is talking her ish on the mic as she as she makes her entrance. But I think one thing that people are kind of overlooking a little bit was she gave the stamp of approval to Maxine, which I thought that was a really cool moment.
No, that was the whole thing was absolutely incredible. I was going to say that with it starting it and have Becky come in as they're fighting and just take over. Like, you need that type of production when it comes to your main event. And it's such a good decision to have Becky do it. Mm-hmm. And I liked how she came back and went to Maxine. Like, it's that type of thing that the leader of the division does.
Keep going.
That was it.
Oh, I was gonna say we're gonna get to it, but the irony in people saying that Becky doesn't put people over as she's the night that she
that's what I'm kind of. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm like stopping and starting because we all know what happens. She does win, and that's why I say I always watch it twice before I hop in here. Is because of little tidbits like that. Like, it's so apparent that she was gonna win, and it's not a bad thing. We'll need Becky to do that type of thing. But
we'll get to that in just a second. But I just thought that was ironic because I'm like, you're literally talking about this the same night that she just put Maxine over, who's been getting a ton of hate online, but whatever. But I also thought this was interesting because Michael Cole said that this was the first time in 17 years that a world title has been decided by a battle royal in WWE. Only the fourth time in the history of the company as well. So I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, and everyone was pissed that it was going to be a battle royal. That's fucking funny.
Yeah. But okay.
Wait, what's 17 minus?
It's 2007.
Yeah, Kurt. So Great Khali when he won the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
main things from this match, so we don't have to go through who eliminated everybody, but there were some standout moments. Maxine eliminating Candice and Indy. I loved that because that was like another little hidden gem in there. They've been feuding for a bit, so I love that Maxine was given that moment, especially after what Becky just said. And the crowd was really behind her, especially when she was kicking Nia in the head. I was loving that. I was like, yes, guys. I think that was really nice for Maxine, given how mean audiences and the internet has been to her in recent weeks, especially. I mean, then she got eliminated by Nia, but like, let's be real, that was going to happen.
Yeah.
We then see Nia doing work outside with the announcers table with Piper, Niven, and Becky. So that was crazy. I would say this match was fire. I was not expecting this match to be as good as it was. It was
really
awesome. Good. They got a half hour. Also, the last half hour. Then we saw Chelsea was eliminated, but the ref's back was turned to her, so the ref didn't even see it. So then Chelsea was able to go back in, and that's the first time I think she broke history again. That was the first time that's ever happened. And eventually we get it down to Becky and Liv being the final two, which I think everybody knew that was what was going to happen. Everyone believed it was going to be Becky or Liv. Becky wins, and people were really upset about it to the point of claiming that she is now Becky Hogan. And I got some stuff to say. You want to hear me rant? Boy, I can give you rants.
I will just know my role and shut my mouth.
Okay. So I understand that people are not going to be fans of Becky Lynch. That's fine, because like, I'm not the biggest fan of Charlotte Flair. But the difference is, I think the thing that people don't understand is just like how wrestling works. First of all, decisions are not made by the wrestlers. Like, that's just not what it is. There are people who have pull, but we're like, let's not act like this is WCW, okay? Hulk Hogan refusing to take pins to certain people, saying that he's, I'm not going to work with this guy. I'm not going to work with this guy. That's not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. That's not how things work. That was like I believe that was in Hogan's contract, and Bischoff was just like a pushover at that point. So like, that's not how things work in WWE. Like, they're going to have more input than they had under Vince, but Becky Lynch is not going in the back talking to Triple H and saying, I'm winning the women's world title, not Liv, and this is what's going to happen. That's not what happens. I think that people are sick of seeing the same people be champion, which is fair. That's something that I think everybody at one point in their life from watching wrestling has complained about. And Becky might be in that category for some people. I don't really understand that as recent, but because until she won the NXT title, hadn't it been like 2 years since she'd been champion? Like, I don't really understand the connection there. But when we're talking about Liv was cheated from winning the Battle Royal, guys, do not feel that way. Winning a Battle Royal was not going to benefit Liv Morgan whatsoever. If we're trying to push Liv Morgan to the moon, especially as a heel, which was not the plan, obviously, accidental injuries, much like the whole CM Punk injury and the Drew McIntyre stuff, and or even like the Rock pivot, all of that stuff leads to better stories and for better turnout for a certain wrestler. That's what is going to happen with Liv. Okay, Becky wins the Battle Royal, becomes a 7-time champion. She's now going to feud hardcore with Liv, because we also don't know how long Rhea's going to be out. It could be 6 months, it could be 8 months, it could be a year. We have no idea. She's going to feud with Liv, and she's going to put Liv over in the biggest way possible by allowing Liv to beat her clean in a match eventually, which is going to solidify Liv as a top female heel in the company so much more than if she won the Battle Royal. Because I think if she won the Battle Royal, it'd be very similar to the reaction she got as women's champion after cashing in on Money in the Bank. It was monumental because she pinned Ronda Rousey, but what happened after that?
Not a whole lot. Wait.
Yeah, not like her reign sucked because they didn't like the hype around her died down immediately. They eventually just had to take the title off her because it was just like, what? Like, this way gives her more time to build her new character, feud with the top girl on Raw, outside of Rhea. And Becky is going to put her over in the exact same way she's been putting over female talent for the past 2 years. She just did it 2 weeks ago against Rhea. She did it with Lyra Valkyria in NXT. She did it with Tiffany in NXT. She had all these matches. Didn't she have a match with Tegan Nox? Like, she was putting all these girls over.
She did fight Tegan Nox. There's a little bit of a storyline there.
Yeah, she's put all of these girls over. She did it with Maxine in her entrance. Might have been minimal, but it was still, I mean,
that's something. It is.
It is.
Think big.
So this is what's going to happen with Becky. So Becky should be celebrated as the winner because she's probably going to be a temporary champion. We're going to see her hold the title for maybe a month or two months, I would say. And Liv is going to win it. And then Liv is going to be a big star. And even Michael Cole, I wanted to write this down. Michael Cole was even supportive of it. He said there is nobody on the planet that has more heart or more perseverance than Becky. And Natty, on her paid subscription service on her Instagram, said that all the girls in the back were wanting to celebrate with Becky, but Becky was out and signing autographs and taking pictures with fans for a half hour after the show ended. So then all the girls just were like, okay, it took her too long to come in the back. So if they felt Becky wasn't the right girl, or that Becky robbed another girl of an opportunity, why would they be waiting to celebrate with her?
Did you not see her go into the crowd?
Yeah.
And grab the sign that said "Women Run WWE" and the kids going up to her and just standing there next. Like, that's a champion, all right? And even if she's a champion for 2 months, that you need those types of moments, because those types of moments put the asses into seats. Simple.
Yeah.
You gotta just stop looking at things sometimes.
I have to stop looking at the comments because you guys are purposely trying to irritate me. I swear to God.
I'm just co-pilot.
Chrome Knuckle just needs to say he's anti WWE. That's fine. You can be anti WWE.
Why can't we be? Why can't WWE, AEW, New Japan just have a truce? Just a forbidden door that it's not locked.
We're not drinking the Becky Lynch Kool-Aid. I'm literally telling you how it is. They would do the exact same.
Water.
They would do the exact same thing on SmackDown if Charlotte Flair was there. If Charlotte Flair won a battle royal,
think Charlotte was going to come out at the end, but not to not to win it, but to try, and that would start a Becky Charlotte thing because there's so much time without Rhea, and there's other avenues that Liv can go down. So I'm like, okay, but she didn't. So I'm like, fine.
All I'm saying is if Charlotte did that on SmackDown, it would be okay, they're trying to build up Tiffany Stratton, right? Maybe Tiffany was meant to be the next champion, so she would be doing that for Tiffany. That's how wrestling works, guys. You don't just put a title on a person who everybody wants to necessarily be champion or feels like they earned it. You guys are fickle. You're fickle. There are people who wanted to see Cody Rhodes be champion for 2 years. He wins, and within 2 weeks of winning the title, you're already complaining how he's a boring champion. The same thing would be happening to Liv Morgan if she won that battle royal on Monday Night Raw. You guys would be happy in the moment, and then the next week, when she comes out there and she's not doing something interesting enough for you, you would be complaining about how you missed Rhea and you couldn't wait for Rhea to come back and take that title away from her. That's just how it is. You have to have people. You have to have people put other people over. That's just how it works. You have to get. This is what I was saying about Vinci. You can't just have Vinci doing something and expect the fans to care. You have to give them a reason to care. And let's see. Hold on. No, I don't dislike you. I just think that you questioning my intelligence is a problem because
I think you're all right.
I didn't say that to you, brother.
Cool. You're pretty cool. No, I think Knuckle's all right.
No, he's fine. I just don't agree with what he says, and I just don't think that we need to throw insults. But that's all.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Alrighty.
I think we all needed that. I think we need a cleanse.
And this is so tunnel visioned. It's the same thing on the other side. AEW has tribalism just like WWE has tribalism. The
We're
difference
so
is
close, Chrome Knuckle.
the difference is, at least after a pay-per-view in WWE, all of the superstars are not talking about AEW and taking shots at Tony Khan and all of their top talent. That's the big difference. Can't convince me otherwise. Sorry. If you're gonna keep Chrome Knuckle, you need to watch other live streams, bro. We talked about this. They're gonna bring back Roman as a babyface. They're gonna have a babyface bloodline. That is gonna be sick. Sick. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see what else. I'm like trying to see if I'm. And then there are two. I think
Say his name.
I don't think I would say Nakamura didn't job. Nakamura was not jobbing. Not really. Also,
it's not really jobbing. That's
you also have to remember. Have you heard about Nakamura feels like he's living a dream because he's like able to do whatever he wants and wrestle when he wants and like do what he wants and not have to like beat up his body while doing it.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy, guys.
Yeah, he's living the dream right now. He's not having to do strong style every single night to like prove himself and whatever.
He doesn't need to. He did it.
We want change. What kind of change?
That was my question.
You're gonna get change. Liv Morgan's gonna be women's world champion eventually.
What do you think? This is 2008? Like what was
Joe Hendry, right?
It is Hendry.
Okay.
Hendry.
Also, thank you, Marcus. Thank you.
Damn.
What are you talking about? It's the same.
All right,
I'm so confused.
I think it's time.
You guys have tribalism on both sides. That's how it is.
That's how it goes. That's the wrestling world. I think it's time to. So long.
Hold on. You also don't have to defend every single thing around AEW because, my friend, we're the same. We're just on opposite sides of the fence. That's all we're doing.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
No donations for me from Lisa because I like Becky. Girl, what? What is happening? What is happening? I've been saying we should bring back the cruiserweight title. I've been saying that. I don't think that they will do it, but they should. Marcus agrees with me saying there's facts. It's on both sides. Also, you should stop for Patty. Oh, wait, I showed you love Sarah. Sorry, Mark. I was trying to go through everything, Micah. I'm really sorry. Chrome Knuckle says he'll stop for you, Pat. You should also just stop for me. Okay.
I think that's very nice of Chrome Knuckle. We've been up since what time did we wake up to? 4.
I don't know. I didn't wake up at 4, so.
Yeah, you wake up 4 every day. That's what a champion does.
You choose that life.
I do, but I don't really choose it. Excuse me. The championship chose it for me. That's what happens when you're the champ of the peeps.
You're like, I'm
serving all the people in the greatest city on earth, Boston, Massachusetts, and coming home here into the Pitts Cave to sit at this table, the head of the table, excuse me, and serve all of you peeps.
TNA.
That's TNA. Fun fact about TNA before we hop off here.
Oops.
I stopped watching WWE for a while, but I only watched TNA from like late 2005 to like early 2007. I was like in and out of WWE, but was religiously watching TNA. I thought it was absolutely incredible. Basically, because I saw it.
I know. I'm just telling him. I really don't feel comfortable asking or answering your question about Bailey. I think I don't feel comfortable answering that.
Damn right, TNA rules.
I would love to do a collab with Denise. We saw
that would be awesome.
We saw her at WWE World. The problem is like I kind of feel like I'm not like a huge part of the wrestling community enough.
We're not there yet.
You know what I mean? Like I am for the people who are like loyal watchers and really enjoy watching us, but like in the big scheme of things, like I'm not a Denise Salcedo. Like if you went and talked to somebody on Twitter and you said something about like Sarah Marshall, blah 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 blah, like no one's gonna know who you are talking about. We're not
there yet.
But they will if you say Denise Salcedo or you know what I'm saying? Like
Wheezy Blonde, Santi.
Oh, don't feel bad. I was just letting you know that's why I wasn't answering it. Don't
Yeah.
feel bad.
No, you're good.
She is not a WWE diehard, actually. She just got a lot of trolls and hate when she live streamed AEW, from what I understand. Is that correct? Pat? Wheezy Blonde? That's why she doesn't stream AEW anymore?
Because the fan.
Yeah, because the fans were so nasty.
Oh yeah, dude, that was brutal. Like that was legit.
I don't know. I've
No,
only been introduced to Wheezy Blonde because of you, and then when I looked at her Twitter, it was like right after something happened. So like I don't know what was said. I don't know what happened. I know that she has a full-time job. So I know that she also said that she doesn't have like a lot of time, but she also had said that there was something that was like there was a lot of trolls in her chat that day. Whether or not
yeah,
it was AEW fans, I don't know. So I'm just
it's a
clarifying.
different
I don't know.
crowd. Yeah, it's a different crowd,
You are too
and
kind. You are too kind, Chrome Knuckle.
um, oh, I like, yeah, it's just a different crowd, but we're not there yet. Like, there's a lot of people I follow. I've been following Wrestling Classic since I was in high school, and I've loved all his stuff.
Who is it?
The Wrestling Classic. I've been
Oh,
following him for
okay.
a
Okay.
while. I love
Uh-huh.
him. He just in like when I first started doing this
Tribal
a while
queen.
ago, or just like the podcasting stuff, I always like thought about doing similar to what he does.
Oh, okay.
And I just like I don't know, like inspiration. It was like I really liked it. There's a couple others I like. I mean, the GOAT himself we met in Philly, Chris Van Fleet.
I know. I wish that we could have had more of a conversation, but then you made me nervous because I was like, I would love a picture, and then you're like, no, we don't ask for pictures. And
No,
I'm like,
I wasn't. I was so focused and just I didn't want to ask for a picture. I just wanted to go and be part of the WWE world. Like I did not care to be that fan at that
I
moment.
just wanted to
There,
be because I'm like,
I
But
know.
anyway,
I'm just not. We didn't even get a goddamn picture with you and I.
I
You know what
know,
I
I
mean? Like
know.
we're just like we were just so immersed because we just wanted to be there, and I think
Can you believe
that's
that, guys? We didn't take a single picture together. We didn't even take pictures with like the WrestleMania stage. Like that's how dumb we
nothing.
were. Nothing.
Well,
Like
also shit was just like
if I didn't have any videos, like live videos from Mania, I would swear that no one would believe that I was actually at WrestleMania because I would have like no proof otherwise. But this is for you. This is a comment for you.
I did not see the Jamal Murray shot last night. We fall asleep pretty early.
Chrome Knuckle wants to know if you
Next
knew that
week?
Omega is returning next week.
I did not. I've been seeing his streams and what he's been saying. The fact he stands with Oscar, dude, that's my guy.
Um,
That's my guy.
we
Kenny
don't have
Omega, Will Ospreay.
we don't have merch
Ooh,
because Micah, you'd probably be the only one who would want it.
we haven't. We could get merch.
Yeah, I just don't know what the merch would necessarily be because also we need to rename the show. And I don't know if we're like telling people what the name is going to be, but I feel like that could be more of a shirt than like, Pits and Sours wrestling show. But yeah, I don't think that anyone would
Lemon and
really.
rosebud you could do.
I
There's
guess
so many
maybe.
ideas. You could do
Yeah,
like a
but I
rose and
think
a
we're gonna
lemon.
wait. I think we're gonna wait a little bit because I think that you would literally be the only one who bought it. So I know we're just going over comments.
That attitude, Sarah. Come on.
I've been in this position before and nobody bought anything, so I'm not trying to get into it again. I will be on a radio show tomorrow, which I'll try to promote. So I'll be I'll be a part of a Patriots mock draft, and I will be just an NFL mock draft. And I'll be doing the pick for the Patriots, and then I will be streaming with I don't even know what fan-sided channel I'll be streaming with on Thursday when the Patriots make their pick in the first round. So if you're interested, make sure you follow my Twitter because I will be promoting that. Chrome Knuckle has a question. I will answer it. Oh, Sarah, did you watch Dynasty? I did not, but I always tell Pat if there's a match or something that you want me to watch, send me a link and I will watch it. So I mean, we did match predictions of who was going to be the winner, and like I said, I think I picked almost every winner correctly. But yeah, I have not watched it. Sorry, we're just getting to comments. We don't normally get to do this. So, I have never seen Tomb Raider, actually. Can you get a Sarah Handman shirt? Maybe. I feel like if I made that though, then a lot of people would want that. Sarah's Riot Hour, sure thing. Sarah Vents again. That would be a good one. Who do we think is going to get picked first and second in the draft? I really think LA Knight should be moved to Raw. That's one. I don't really know who else. I think some of the women from SmackDown need to go to Raw also. Anyway, what's your question? Oh, can you do a weekly Q&A show? Yeah, the problem is your mic is off, Pat. Your mic is off.
Basically what Thursday is anyways.
Well, but this is the thing also. Like, we have quite a few of you in here right now, but that's not how it is every single time. So sometimes the chat is dead. And then it's like, we'll be like, yeah, we'll do a Q&A this, today. And then it's like, none of you are here. Yeah. So it makes it a little bit difficult to plan those in advance.
You can send in the questions too.
Yeah, send questions in.
That's why we can
have
always
social
do that. Media.
Let's see. He wants me to watch Ospreay versus Danielson.
That's what I was gonna tell you. Also Jericho Hook.
No, I'm not watching that. Why
Jericho
would I watch
Hook was a 5-star instant classic.
Okay. Anyway.
No, but in all seriousness.
Okay.
I actually don't think we got Jericho right. Like, I don't think we thought he was gonna win.
No, I think I said Jericho.
You said Jericho?
I think so.
You
didn't I?
Lunatic.
Or maybe I don't even know. We would have to go back.
I don't know. That's why I waited to Thursday, because I was gonna go, but
well, watch it. I feel like I said Jericho, but I don't know. Anyway, okay, so we can finish this up. Jack Perry's back. That's all.
That's right. That's my scapegoat. That's my scapegoat.
I like Ospreay, so I want to watch it because everybody on my timeline was
it was really good.
Was getting good. Yes. And I'm sorry, Marcus. He can get me pissed off. Stop it. You just saw it. I just went off on him. Stop it. Not enough to like ruin my day or something, if that's what you mean.
No, you can't
and last question before we go. Where can we ask questions? You can do it in like just the comment section of this video. I can even try and get up. We're actually going live tomorrow, aren't we? Not Thursday.
Yeah, what time?
Didn't you say 6?
6, okay.
But anyway, so yeah, just do that, or if you like have a Twitter or something, then you can ask us on Twitter as well. So yeah. Otherwise,
links in the description below for the Twitters, Instagrams, all that. Yes. I open the message, and we'll make a point to ask it on the show for Q&As. That's fun. It's fucking fun. So
I think we did that pretty early on too, like when we talked about like our all-time favorite matches and whatever. Like that was pretty early on in the channel, so we could even do stuff like that again. We should be doing that. So big things are popping. All right, Little Post-Mania. There you go, T.I. There you go. Balling. Things are happening here in the show. We're getting better every day, every episode. So stay with us. We'll be doing more stuff like that. We do not have an Instagram yet, but in the meantime, you can follow us. We have personal Instagrams. Yes. Yeah, Sarah, I was sorry. Just trying to help. I was literally saying that we have our own Instagrams. You can follow me at Pitsy35 and Sarah at I forget which one it is. Is it Smarsh _? I don't even know. I think it is. I think it is Smarsh _ because that's what I remember promoting before. Yes, Smarsh _. So yeah. Follow us there, and then on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Pat _Pits and at SMarshXO. I'm sure, yeah. So until tomorrow, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button or tell your peeps to. And in the meantime, God bless. Remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's ride.